Hello, YouTube. It's your boy, the Passport Bro Wingman, coming at you again with another YouTube video. And the title of this video is called Passport Bros, Y'all are URKELS and Don't Deserve Women, Attack of the FEMCELS Part 2. And the way this video came about was I was watching a stream done by Pablo Frescobar. He streamed a video yesterday titled Matrix Dwellers, Black American Culture Says Lames Don't Deserve Women. And pretty much he was reviewing this video done by there's a group of YouTubers called the Krew season, and they pretty much made a video pretty much overall discussing that men who travel overseas are like lames. They don't, the old sayings that they're saying about us, that we don't get women and we need to self-improve and all this other crap. So he pretty much reviewed their video, and at first I was going to pinpoint target that video, some of the talking points that they talked about, and I was going to actually debunk some of the stuff they were saying and kind of speak to it. But as I was searching for the video on YouTube, I noticed they had another video that came out recently targeting Auston Holleman, and they actually brought him on the panel, and he was surrounded by at least about 6 people, and they were just grilling him and just asking him all these different questions. So what I wanted to do in this video is a little different than what I usually do. Usually I give you clips, and I kind of, give a clip of something that someone said, and then I kind of discuss it until my point. But the thing was, in the stream, it was just so many bad talking points by our, opposition, that I really wanted to go through it with you and break it down and just kind of speak to some of the foolishness that was said, and also to kind of give some support to Auston Holleman, because they tried to really go in on him. Overall, he stood his ground. He did a really, really good job, but I kind of want to share it with you, and that's what I'm going to do in the stream. And I'm going to kind of discuss some of the stuff they're saying, and, and then just, you guys can kind of give me your feedback, and we'll kind of go from there. So, and I want to keep this video too long. So that's kind of get into it. So let me share the video. And here's the thing. I'm not going to go... I'm not going to view the whole video because, one, I don't want to drag the video on. I know at some point people start losing attention, that kind of thing. But the first beginning part, at least the first half, I'm going to kind of go through that and pick it apart. And the last half, if you want to check them out, as you can see in the video, here's their, here's their channel name. You can, do whatever. You can subscribe if you want. I wouldn't subscribe or whatever, but you can pretty much find them here. Here's the title of the video, and you can kind of watch the rest of the video on your own. I just really want to hit the majority of the talking points which happened in the first half, because as soon as he came on the panel, they tried to really swarm him, and I kind of wanted to debunk some of the stuff that they're saying. So that's being said, I started off at the first minute because, before that, they're just introduction, but they start off asking Holleman pretty much how he got started, and we're going to kind of go from there. So here we go.
It's really that bad. I mean, where is it that good at?
Fair use.
You ever been to Houston?
No, I was in Dallas.
Okay, we'll see that.
Dallas got him too, though.
Yeah.
My best friend lives in Dallas.
My girl from Dallas.
Okay. Can I ask
North Carolina.
South Carolina.
I have a question. If you had one chance in the U.S. to find a good-looking woman that is submissive and traditional, would you take it in the U.S.?
No.
Yeah. So here's the thing. They try to do a variety of different things here. So first off, he tried to say almost like you ain't checking hard enough. So I don't know if you noticed, but the guy here, OT, pretty much tried to say, well, my girl's from there. Kind of like we got some, pretty much for the most part, there's within this haystack, there's some needles in there that you guys need to find. You need to look for the needle in the haystack. You just didn't try hard enough. Of course, they're trying to play the angle of he's only 23. He should have tried hard enough. I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, Auston is very smart. He's seen all the divorce courts. He's seen the issue that a lot of older men have been dealing with. He didn't want to do that. As I said before, a lot of times, in a lot of movies, you would see these older men who are married. They're in the bar. They're getting drunk. They're complaining about their wives, how hard it is. Why is that something that men will want to look to? If we're seeing all these older men complaining about the women here are having so many issues and just seeming so unhappy, why would we sign up for that? It's just this thing where they feel like we have to kind of go through the same process just because that's what everybody else is doing. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And again, with him saying the needle in a haystack, of course, all of us, I'm sure all the Passport Bros people listen to me now. Okay, here and there, you probably met one girl that was decent here or there. But the thing is, there's a plethora of women in these other countries where there's uh, lots and lots of them there. I mean, like, why should I go here, like I said, looking for a needle in a haystack? And of course, like I said, the mentality is not going to be the same. I mean, it just like, why should I take a whole bunch of abuse before I find the right type of woman? Versus you go overseas, you go to the DR, you go to Colombia, you're gonna run into tons of women that great quality, make good girlfriend or marriage material, and you don't have to deal with nearly half of the mess that you're gonna deal with here, trying to cold approach women, trying to meet women on apps, which we already discussed in previous videos that. On the apps, they said women have said only 4% of the men were attractive. 4%. Versus, you can, like I said, versus you go to Colombia, you go to Brazil, especially Bahia, Brazil, you're approaching women there. I mean, it's almost like night and day. So that's continue. Let me mention what she said as well. So now she's trying to play the angle of, hey, but if you did meet a woman in the States and she met all your qualifications, would you marry her? And basically what she's trying to pinpoint is that he's not a serious dude. He's just wants to mess around. He's not trying to do anything. He's only going overseas because he wants to mess around, use up all these women. He's not able to do it in the States. So that's why he's trying to do it. And also, the reason I titled this Attack of the FEMCELS, I want you to look at the woman that's saying this. Now, she's not a bad looking woman. She's cute, very pretty hair, that kind of thing. Now, what you're going to find out later in the video is that she's actually from El Salvador. El Salvador has this thing called femicide there, in which a lot of the men are like killing the women. They're being very abusive to the women, that kind of thing. So, unfortunately, she's in a situation in a culture where, and this is not saying all men, of course. Let me say this because, I got all these trolls coming. I'm not saying all the men in El Salvador are participating in the femicide, that they're mean and all this kind of stuff. However, there is a percentage of culture there. You can actually type this into YouTube and you would see it. So what she's tripping on is that, and as you can see, here's the thing. This is why I brought up her appearance. She's obviously cute, but she's not Kim Kardashian. She's not one of these above average, top tier women or something like that. So obviously, this is a woman that's been there. The men have been playing her. She's been having a hard time finding a man. I'm not sure if she has a man. That I don't know. But I can assure you that based upon just my experience going to South America, she's cute, but there are some women that will surpass her in looks. And obviously, she's looking for this top tier guy in her country. She's not getting that type of guy. She's frustrated with that. She's looking at Auston, no homo. You could tell obviously he's a decent looking dude. He's getting tons of women. She obviously doesn't like that because she's probably dealt with some guys, maybe El Salvadorian guy there who's attractive. He, didn't wife her up. He played games. So she's trying to project that into Auston, not knowing anything about him. But here's my response to her in that, and to any other the women who are listening or anything like that. Why does Lori Harvey get to go around sleeping from dude to dude, moving from dude to dude? You're not pressing her about settling down. But you're not pressing her about settling down. She's free to date whoever she wants to date. Hot girl summers. You got all this stuff going on. Those women are not serious. They're going to Jamaica, dating a variety of different men. She don't have no smoke for those women, but she got all the smoke for Auston. And of course, now, not her in particular, but again, I'm not even gonna go there. But I'm just gonna say this: like, all I'm saying is have that same smoke for some of the women that are here who want to go through this little 3 or 4 phase in their 20s, but then when they get older, now they want to settle down. So I know I've been holding up. We only like 2 minutes in. That's continue.
Now, have you met someone outside of the United States, submissive, traditional, and good looking?
Yeah, but I got content to make right now, so.
Okay, so
I
you
can't
don't
do
want
that.
to get married because you met
Not yet, I'm 20. I'm
Shaking my
material
head.
and you didn't marry that person.
I'm 23.
Okay.
Well, I didn't find a lot of material. They wasn't married material. They wasn't shit, actually. That's why I keep saying that.
Yeah.
Well, then, what was the most, I don't know, I
My
guess,
goodness.
fucked up thing about them? Yeah, like if you had just narrowed it down to something specific.
And not feminine at all.
Yep.
They like to argue. They call you bro. I'm not your fucking bro.
Yep.
I am not your bro. There's some shit my homeboys call me.
I always question that. Why do they call them bros?
Well, I mean, especially being in Dallas, bro is slang down there, so they gonna throw that around, just not even in a disrespectful way. That's just how they talk. But I mean, I could definitely see the point there. But again, I just got confusion with it being so many women in this state. So you saying that you couldn't find one
Oh my
that was
goodness.
feminine and cooperative, and not again.
Here we go.
Being super masculine, trying to argue. Because I'm gonna be honest, man. I know a lot of women.
Needle in a
haystack.
haystack.
Not like that, and I think a lot of times the loud minority kind of skews people's mindsets. And again, I don't know your experience per se, but you are pretty young. But throughout your entire time here, you're saying that you never found one that was feminine, cooperative, looked good, and who was willing to ride with you. Not one.
So, running into masculine women that don't treat you right, what would you say that does to your mind state?
And let me talk about it again, about this whole needle in a haystack type of thing. Let's say that I'm a shoe sneaker type of guy, and I like certain types of sneakers. I like I don't know, Reeboks that are like classics or something like that. And there's a special type of classic where it has the logo in a certain way on the side or something like that. Now, and this is like limited edition or something like that, or they just say not even limited edition, just a certain type. I'm sure that many of you have been to certain, looking for, you've been out maybe shopping, you go to the store, you're looking for a certain type of like shoe, something like that. You don't see it at this Foot Locker, so you go to another Foot Locker maybe an hour out of the way, you don't see it there. So here's the thing: should I really just keep going around to different Foot Lockers, driving around, wasting my time doing that, or can I just go to an outlet, i.e. another country, Brazil, Colombia, the Philippines, where the outlet is there and they make these left and right? I actually just go there. Oh, it's right here. Let me pick it out. Oh, you know what? They even have this kind as well. Which is more efficient, to go to the outlet or just keep going to these little small stores here and there, trying to pick it apart, where it's more, in his mind, more convenient. It's just more convenient to stay here. Yeah, it's more convenient, but they don't necessarily have the type that I'm looking for. And in his mind, well, all the stores don't have it. Doesn't make sense to do that, or I just go to outlet where it's actually there. It's like almost like a factory that I'm just producing it, and they have it in bulk. I'm gonna go where there's a bulk. And not only that, since it's in bulk, I'm actually gonna probably get it at a better deal. It doesn't make any sense.
For me, it would make me want to adjust.
Wait, he didn't answer the question. I wanted to get the answer.
I'm about to get an answer.
Oh my goodness.
When you run into a masculine woman that doesn't treat you right, what does that do to your mind state? Keep it pushing. That's not the woman for me.
Move on to the next.
Well, I'm not asking what is your response. What is that? How does that make you feel in the moment?
You don't like it. You go find something that you do like.
So what I'm hearing is fuck your life up a little bit longer.
Exactly.
Become a passport.
Exactly. Waste time.
Nope.
Stay on a plantation.
You need to go ahead and knock somebody up and get put on child support, and then you got.
Let me speed that up. You got it frozen.
Couldn't hear the end.
Go and say it again. So, what you're saying is fuck your life up and keep going through bad experiences, and then try something else that is proven to work. Nope.
I would say.
Well, what type of woman?
Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask him first to get an understanding. What type of woman are you attracted to? Because the one in the video, she mushed you. So, what kind of woman? Like, what's your preference? I don't care if she's sitting right there. She mushed you. So, if you're saying those traits, they call you bro and stuff like that, and her body language didn't look inviting. I'm going off the video.
Oh my goodness.
What is your type in America? You know what I'm saying? like that you kept experiencing something bad, and then what is your type when you go overseas?
If an American woman was on the phone, you would be mad, and she's doing the same thing.
I'm on a live stream.
No, I really.
No, she was doing it on the video too.
Question.
She was doing it on the video too.
Not Sayeda's question. I just want to know what is his preference that was in Texas that's different from his preference overseas, to where
this is so
which could have been the same in America, but it would have been deemed disrespectful or not feminine.
This is so disingenuous. Basically, what they're trying to say is that you claim the women are so feminine, but this woman is being very masculine with you. This is the same argument when he had the issue in Brazil with the feminists popping up. When feminists attacked him, then they took that one woman and tried to say, see, y'all say Brazilian women are so feminine. Why is this woman attacking y'all then? I mean, this is just so disingenuous. No passport bro has ever said all women in Brazil are feminine. All women in Thailand, all women in Thailand are feminine. We're just saying probability-wise, majority, yes. When you look at the divorce rates, they're much, much smaller. I believe Thailand had like a 10% divorce rate or something like that. It's very, very, very small. Even in like Colombia, Brazil, this is just ridiculous. Because I know the clip they're talking about. There was a clip in which he was saying something to her. The girl he's with now, she kind of like put her hand on his face. She kind of pushed him a little bit. So here's the thing. In any relationship, and this is the other thing too, with them saying that we're like controlling the women. I mean, with the woman doing that, does it like that Auston is controlling her, making her subservient, a slave? We're not saying we don't want women to have a say or like feedback. And here's the thing: in spite of her doing that, didn't she eventually? You see that she's sitting with him now at the table, and then you got a picture of her curled up under him, kissing him, that kind of thing. So she's still subservient. I mean, feedback, that doesn't mean that the woman is necessarily masculine. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that the women in the States are overall trying to control the men. They're trying to make this thing where like we're supposed to be almost okay with them dating various other men at the same time. You got women, I think 25% of them are doing the dinner and dash type of thing. They're saying stuff up front like, go out on a date with me. You got to at least pay $500 on a date. Stuff like that, where they're just demanding stuff up front. And then in spite of them demanding that, they're not doing anything with some of these guys. It was one guy that actually flew a woman out. I think he paid like, I'm not saying like $10,000, but he brought her out. He spoiled her, doing all the stuff like that. I wouldn't have done this, but he tried to smash. She didn't want to smash. So he pretty much kicked her out. Because he did all this stuff for her. And so what we're trying to say is that the women in the States are constantly trying to get over a man, and we're just supposed to just accept that. That's what we're saying. No man is saying that women can't have feedback, they can't have a say-so. We're not saying that. And in general, what we're saying is, even with the woman in Thailand, as I told you before, she's still taking him where he wants to take her. And again, he didn't even say this is necessarily his girlfriend. It's just someone he's just dealing with. I mean, and again, versus in the States, I'll probably have some other stuff to say, but I don't want to hold up the video. Let's just keep going. This is just ridiculous.
My preference, I get way more respect from black women outside of the United States. I'm just gonna say that.
And what do you mean by that? Way more respect.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I was trying to touch on. I was thinking about it as well. Same thing when you go down to Colombia, the Afro-Colombian women. You'd be surprised how submissive, how much they blush when you say, what's the word? Very positive things about them. Just telling them they're beautiful. You like their hair, that kind of thing. They blush. They're friendly. They want to go out with you. They cater to you. They cook and clean for you. Versus in the States, the women, you tell them to cook and clean, they think you're some type of slave. It's just almost like night and day. The other thing is the Afro-Colombian women, also the Afro-Brazilian women, they don't care if you put it this way, you don't have to be thugged out. That's what he's trying to say. You don't have to be thugged out. And the reason I think a lot of times the state, they want you to be thugged out is because women are type of masculine. They got all types of tattoos. They like to go back and forth, arguing with men. Sometimes you'll hear about several of them fighting with men, that kind of thing. You don't have this kind of attitude in Brazil and Colombia. The women are not really trying to challenge men and fight men like they're men. That's what we're saying. The women in the States actually think that they're men. They'll actually stand you in your face and say, "What are you gonna do?" Provoking men, almost put hands on them. Now, we don't promote men to put hands on women. I've never put my hands on a woman. I don't promote men to do that. And kind of like what Alpha Male Strategy said, which I agree. It's kind of a put it this way: if you get to a point where you almost got to put your hands on a woman, she's so far gone in her mentality, you shouldn't even be dealing with that woman to begin with. It's already over at that point. Before you even decide to go that route, I want you to know it's already over that woman. You might as well get your passport, leave, and move on at that point. That just tells you that woman is so much out of control. But let's continue.
She ain't black, but I'm in Thailand at the same time. Black people aren't from here.
Okay, no, I'm saying you said you get more respect. So I'm assuming this is outside of the basic human respect that strangers give one another. So you're saying in relationship-wise, what do you mean by more respect?
Well, number one, I can be a man and not be shamed for it. That's the main one of them.
Shame.
Everything is toxic masculinity. Everything is
exactly.
somebody trying to control somebody. It's just a bunch of bullshit. I'm not dealing with it.
Exactly.
What is being a man? You said I just be a man, just unapologetically. What does that look like to you?
Oh my goodness.
Number one, you could lead a woman, but then you're being somebody's daddy or control. So I'm not dealing with that shit either.
It sounds like you need more experience, in my opinion, because
I'm getting way more experience overseas than I would have ever got in the States.
Okay,
are the women submissive? Are the women there in Thailand
submissive? There's a day
every single one. Is every single one like that?
What they got to do with it?
Of course, you got an exception, but
come on
it's
now.
not the opposite. In the United States, you're going to run into more masculine women than you would here. They're everywhere, but I'm just not fun.
Basically the same, they the same everywhere type of thing. Then why is the divorce rate higher in the United States? And why is it majority of the people filing for divorce are women in the States? It don't even make any sense. And the thing about it that's so what's the word? Weird about that whole situation as well is that, overseas, there's a lot of men that unfortunately, will put hands on a woman. There's a lot of like domestic abuse, and in spite of that, it still has a low divorce rate versus in the state. There's all types of laws against men. At the drop of a hat, a woman's called on police on you, you're getting locked up. I mean, and in spite of that, having all these freedoms in the United States, these women still don't want to be like, still want to break up with a lot of the men, even though they're in the most advantageous country in the world. I mean, it's just not, you can't just say it's the same. It's not the same.
I was about to say something crazy, but I'm just not bumping into motherfuckers. It's just masculine out here.
You're not bumping into them. So you're expecting them to bump into you? Or are you going out and acting?
No, well, let me be a little more specific. I'm not bumping into them left and right. You know what I mean.
Right. So they're not in mass, but you're only looking for one. So you know that majority of the in mass that you meet are not going to be her. So why?
Oh my goodness.
Is that like a shock?
In the United. What are you asking?
I'm saying majority. You're saying majority of the women that you're meeting are not the type of women that, they're not the one. But you're only looking for one. So majority of the one that you meet probably won't be the one, because you are not going to get along with majority of the women. So why would you think that you should?
In the United States, the majority of the women are not fit to deal with me.
Okay, I see what her argument is. It's still a stupid and ingenuous argument. Basically, what she's trying to say is, since you go down to these countries, and majority of the women that you're looking for, pretty much, since you have to vet the women still there, since you have to vet them there, what's the difference between vetting them there and vetting them here? and here's the thing. And I think Tommy Sotomayor said something similar. He pretty much said this, like, why should I go? Put it this way: if somebody had a box of snakes and they said not all of those snakes are venomous, find the ones that are like not venomous. Would you want to go through that box of snakes where like majority of them are venomous versus let's just say there was another box and there was some snakes in there and majority of those were not venomous? I mean, maybe not the best, analogy, but the whole point is this. Put it this way, it's not pleasant. It's not going to be a pleasant experience. Obviously, going through snakes either way is not pleasant. But the whole point is this, that your chances would be higher in the box that has less venomous snakes than it would in the box where it has more venomous snakes. You're more likely going to get bitten. You're going to get bitten several times. In other words, it's not a pleasant experience. Vetting, obviously, the point of the analogy being snakes is that it's not a pleasant experience either way to have to maybe vet. But I can tell you this. Vetting women overseas is going to be a whole lot more pleasant than it is in the States. First of all, the women there, as we said before, they're less masculine. They're less masculine. So dealing with them, you're dealing with a lot of feminine energy that you don't really get in the States. Now, the thing is, it may be something as simple as that disqualifies her. Maybe, for example, you meet a woman, you really like her, you're into her, but as you guys are talking, you find out, oh, she has like 3 kids. Obviously, like, oh, I can't deal with that. That's not, yeah, you vetted her, you disqualify her. Versus in the States, you dealing with a woman that's like, oh, by the way, I do OnlyFans or something like that. And like, so you're dealing with that, or that's just, I know people might say that's a little extreme. So they just say, okay, so put it this way, I put it this way, you go to the States, you date a bunch of women, you get their numbers. So then you call up the woman, you say, hey, we're going out Friday, right? Oh no, I got to do something else. Call me back Saturday. You calling her, you texting her, she don't respond. Or she's only say, okay, let's go out Sunday. So then you out Sunday, she doesn't show up. All of a sudden, last minute, she gives you some type of reply. Oh, I had to go, go to my friend's house. I couldn't make it. You're dealing with that. Versus like overseas, again, all women, of course, I'm not saying that there are women that flake, but what we're saying is that the way they deal with you, it's a lot better overall. Like in general, when I'm dealing with women like in Colombia, in general, like majority of them are going to show up. If put it this way, they're not going to stand me up a lot of times, or if they are, put it this way, they'll let me know if they can't really make it, and they're generally sincere if they can't make it. Not to say that there aren't women that flake, but I would say in the States, you deal with a whole lot more mess dealing with the women here. Pretty much just even getting some that are sincerely and put it this way, you deal with a lot of masculine energy in the States. So the whole point is not only do I got to deal with this masculine energy, but now I got to vet that. Versus you go overseas, what we're saying is there's one less bar you got to, one less hurdle you got to deal with to find a woman of your dreams. Now you don't have to deal with the masculine energy, which, getting around that. Then, on top of that, trying to vet her as far as trying to see if, this woman, does she have children? Can she cook and clean? Is she like cooperative? Is she very supportive? You can look at those things now to disqualify them versus in the States. As I told you before, when you think about like the apps in general, like they're only thinking 4% of the men are attractive in general. So first off, is even just getting a woman to be attracted, dealing with them. So women is disqualifying because you're too short, that kind of thing. Versus other countries, they're not really thinking that much about that. That's like so artificial. Again, not saying that there are women that do that, but it's far less. That's what we're saying. So first off, in the States, you already just got to get over this bar as far as them being even qualifying, for them to even want to deal with you. And these are not women who are like 10s in the States. You're talking about women who are like 5s. Will have the mentality that they're a 10, who disqualify a man for like petty little things. So first off, meeting the qualifications, you're dealing with that. Then even when you get on a date, now you're playing all these little stupid games as far as like, make sure I sit up correctly when I speak. I don't want her to think that I don't have strong frame. And make sure when I get the number, I don't call her for 3 days. I never have to think about any of that stuff when I'm dealing with women like in Brazil and Colombia. You never have to deal with any. You don't have to deal with any of that. As someone has said, game really is for, quote unquote, game is for like dealing with masculine women, how to get around all their masculine, like their masculine tactics, their ways of like pressing you, and as they call it, like a piss test. Women consistently piss testing you in the States, and you got to constantly find ways to get around it. I don't have to deal with any of that overseas. So should I learn how to get around their piss test in the States, or should I just get my passport, go overseas? And that's one less hurdle I got to worry about when I'm trying to find the woman of my dreams. So that's that. So that, that debunks that. So let's move on.
I like that you said that. So you said you in particular, you possess a certain amount of traits, and those women and you having more options of other women that possess the qualities that you prefer versus in America.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It just seems there's a lot of men that have the same
in America, they won't allow you to be a man. No.
They want to wear the pants in the relationship. They want to wear the pants.
You're supposed to be a pronoun guy.
Exactly. Especially black men.
Is that from YouTube, or you mean like
all men in general?
If you have not heard about the pronouns, I don't know where you've been at.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. This is getting ridiculous.
Everything in the United States is emasculated day by day. Day by day. I'm not dealing with that shit.
Come on now. Yeah, this is ridiculous. They got
that right there's a point that I can't wrap my head around, because you say you're not dealing with it, right? So just like you said, because it sounds to me like you just jump into extremes, just, whatever. If that's what you choose to do.
It's just like,
there's a lot of room between me fucking my life up to learn lessons, or you just improving yourself as a person to be able to recognize shit better. Because I think even despite those instances, I'm sure there's some instances out there that you done ran into. Clearly, I mean, you made national news for some accusations and shit that you did.
I question if this dude has even traveled. I mean, just the way he's talking, it just, I mean, all these passport bros were making this stuff up. I mean, come on now.
Did not do, right? So that's a learning curve. But my issue is that why is it so hard with so many different types of women? Because again, we can't just speak about the States as if, okay, all of these women are just monolith. These women is this, these women is that. So
come on now.
My thing is this, like, where's the sense of self accountability? Like, why do I keep running into or dealing with?
Oh my
because
goodness!
Like you asked, you like, what would you do if?
Oh my goodness!
Me and that woman would never be in any type of relationship at all, ever. Because again, once I recognize that, it's over with. So, which is why I asked you. I said, "Have you ever So you're telling me that you hadn't ran into one?" And it sounds to me like you saying
needle in a haystack. Needle in a haystack.
23 years of living in the States, not one woman that's submissive and that's willing to follow the plan.
I mean, they're out there. Probably not sexually attracted to them.
And plus, you get better bang for your buck in another country. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, come on now. Like, that's just like telling Microsoft, who ship their jobs overseas, you mean to tell me you can't find any workers here that can do that job? Yeah, they can find a few workers here and there, but you really think that it's going to be the same type of work ethic versus somebody over in, I don't know, like the Philippines or something that'll do, work that same job for like half the price? It's not the same. I mean, come on now.
Not one ever.
I can say something real crazy. But I'm just saying, when I was in Brazil, you can find them that you're sexually attracted to them, and they'll act the way how you want.
Bingo.
In the States,
more bang for your buck.
It's going to take you a while. I'll probably be older than everybody on this panel before I find out.
Yep.
Act how you want.
I think his preference is great. I think if he's getting the results over there where he can find him a wife, I think that works for him.
No, Lucky, he said he wasn't looking for a wife. That he's 23, he's young, he's just having fun. So I'm thinking in my head.
And even Lori Harvey, she's not looking for a husband. Shouldn't she be looking for a husband? Shouldn't she? I mean, come on now. All these women going into Jamaica, shouldn't they be looking for husbands? All these women with this 3 or 4 phase in the States. I mean, this is multiple men saying this. This is not our imagination. Shouldn't these women be looking for a husband when they're Auston is 23. Think about all the 23-year-old women who are told don't settle down by like that panel on Fox News. Oh, you too young to be trying to settle down now. These women, these older women, a lot of them don't have husbands, divorced, telling these women, oh, y'all need to just go out there, try it out. Saying this to all these women who are in their early 20s. You're not telling them to find a husband, but why does he have to find a wife at this age?
If you're talking to an American woman that's like we said, a lot of women are looking to get married, and you are in their space just looking to have fun, but you want them to follow your lead.
Well, why would they be cooperative with that? But the women in America may be looking for something more serious than he's ready for. Maybe they're putting too many expectations and he don't.
Okay, so here's the argument. Well, should they be cooperative towards you because you're just looking to mess around? Are you gonna say that to all the NBA players, all the NFL players, all the rappers? Snoop Dogg talked about one time he was in the bathroom. A woman actually went through the vent to come see him. We all know that when you're dealing with a lot of these entertainers, they're going to have multiple women, but women are lining up to still date these men. These women are still lining up to date these men. You're not telling, I mean, so here's the whole thing. Even in, like I said, like we go back to the Pookie and Ray Ray type of thing. Pookie and Ray Ray, a lot of times, he's not trying to settle down, but you got women signing up to date this dude. There was a news article in which there was like 3 dudes. They had impregnated 70 different women, and these women knew that this man had multiple baby mamas and would just sleep around left and right. But these women still signed up for that. So here's our thing, and this is for a lot of, not all the passport bros, but a lot of them. The thing is, if we're looking at Pookie and Ray Ray, we're looking at all these rappers and stuff like that. They're not, I mean, why are we paying the same price that they didn't have to pay? It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. They're telling you up front they're never looking for anything serious. You're signing up for that. And who's to say that, I mean, she acting like Auston or any of the passport roles, we're going up these women directly saying that we want to, that we're just, put this way, that we're like gaming them, we're telling them that we're serious when we're not serious. That's not the case. In any case, even we're looking for them serious, she's acting like we have to immediately settle down with the women. We don't get the opportunity to vet. So Pookie and Ray Ray, these rappers, these athletes, they get the privilege of vetting women before they settle down with them. They don't get the privilege of dating the women first to see if they really like them. So this is why I called it Attack of the FEMCELS, because this woman here, I mean, she's cute. She's not, I mean, I give credit where credit is due. She's a cute woman. But what I'm saying is, this to me seems like another woman who's been burnt by multiple men, and she doesn't like seeing, especially black men or whatever, going overseas, having all these options, because the men that she tried to settle down with probably used her up, tossed her to the side. So she's projecting a lot of that onto Auston and to the passport bros. But the thing is, the man she was with, they had the opportunity to vet and date before they just went and settled down. We're not just gonna go there and just jump on the first woman we see. Oh, just because she's beautiful, she meets our stuff. Can I? If I'm shopping, if I go out and I'm shopping and I'm the buyer, I go to a car auction. They got various cars coming down the lane. Yes, I came to find a very nice and sporty car, but there's several different cars. That's just like when you go to a store, immediately when you come into a store, the guy approaches you and say, hey, do you need anything? Can I help you with anything? And you're like, hey, just let me look around first. I don't want to just settle on the first thing I see. I mean, come on now. Let me look around the store and see what's out there. I don't see any harm in doing that. So she's saying, that's like her saying, why should the salesman take you serious? Because I'm going to buy something eventually. Also, eventually is going to settle down and find a wife. We all are eventually going to settle down and find a wife, because at some point, just playing the field gets it gets tiring. That's why most guys eventually want to, even like entertainers, at some point they want to find a wife. They get tired of being out there. But there is a process. You got to vet first. You got to date first. So she can miss me with that.
He's not ready to get married outside of the United States. He's not married. He's not willing to marry in the U.S.
And those women aren't pressuring him for marriage. They're willing to act how he wants them to act, which is just cooperative with whatever he decides to do.
And you know what? I just wanted to say, Auston, I'm not against men traveling, exploring. Even if you say you're not ready for marriage, I'm not against that. I'm not in the United States. I'm not against that. I'm against men traveling to countries like mine, trying to travel to countries like my country, and
oh my goodness,
like poisoning the culture and not doing any good to our cultures. I saw the video of what happened in Brazil. I've seen another video of what happened in Dominican Republic.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and this is, and I'm going to end it with this, and this is why I titled this. I'm going to end it here. You can watch the rest of the video if you want. You see the title, but this is why I named it Attack of the FEMCELS. I'm going to end on this point. This was the point that I really wanted to address. And I already had a video called Attack of the FEMCELS, which said a similar thing. So this is what I'm seeing a lot of. And actually, there was a woman that came on Kevin Samuel's show. She was actually from Colombia. And she said that she saw videos in the United States of women complaining about the men in the United States. And also she saw a video of some passport bros. And she was saying stuff like that we pretty much say all this stuff about the women in our country, but we come to their country and do the same thing. This is another woman who's trying to support that Brazilian woman. So again, what this is this is a plain, more of a, again, she's a cute woman. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. She's upset because men like Auston or men who are similar are going to these countries. We're dating and we're vetting these women. She doesn't like that because she thinks that we're supposed to just go there and we're supposed to see her, immediately meet her and settle down with her. She doesn't like the fact that men have options even in her country. The difference is her country versus here in the States, you got all this feminism that is out of control here, and they're trying to, for the most part, penis police. So she's trying to penis police again, saying, well, if y'all don't come to our country and do the same thing, if you're going to come down here, pretty much you're supposed to just wife us up. So we're not supposed to have the opportunity to date and vet women and that kind of thing. We're supposed to just come here because I'm pretty sure in her country there are plenty of men of her own country who are doing, as I told you before, she's from El Salvador, as I told you before. There is literally femicide there, where men are just killing women left and right, and they're not going to jail. They're not going to jail. So what she thinks is that we're just some kind of parasites coming there doing the same thing. This is not the case. There are so many men who are coming to these countries and wifing these women up left and right. What we're trying to do is come there and we're trying to find a woman that is suitable. As I said before, we're trying to find a woman that's suitable. No man wants to be out there, for the most part, just sleeping with women left and right. At some point, that gets tiring. At some point, you want to find a woman that's settled down with. So she's trying to support now this woman in Brazil, trying to say, for the most part, she was good for defending the Brazilian women. And I hate to go there. I really want to say, like, I'm pretty sure there are some men, and I hate to say this, outside of the colored men who are there, she has not said anything to. I'm pretty sure that men in it right now, she's not saying anything to them. They're just looking at Auston because, I hate to say it, he's a colored person, easy target type of thing. This is just getting ridiculous. Because she can't get one of the Auston Hollemans that are traveling there. She's upset about that, so she wants to speak out and co-sign the Brazilian feminists there, because we're supposed to just go there and the first basic woman we see, we're supposed to just settle down with them because we didn't have any options in the state. So again, this is women again trying to control. And again, this is again, there are plenty of El Salvadorian women who are much more, because you can see that she's trying to dip into the feminist pool there. But again, feminism doesn't have the same stronghold in those countries as it does in the States. So yeah, so that's why I wanted, because you can see that it's her. She has a little bit of that too. They're just so they really want to do a lot of penis policing, because they're choosing these men who are just running over them, and they're trying to find some way to put a cap on the passport bros. This is, and I hate to say this, it's probably gonna get a whole lot worse as more and more men travel, because it's really getting to these women that we actually have options now. We're not gonna settle for this mess anymore. I don't want to keep this video long, so I'm going to end it there. You can watch the rest of the video if you want. But again, please leave your comments. Tell me what you think about this whole situation, about this whole stream. This is this is ridiculous. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not. Hit the notification bell. Tell me what you think. I thank you all for your support. And until next time, this is your boy, the Passport Bro Wingman, signing off.